Hello and welcome to Screen Time. Today I'm going to be talking about the movie 4 Years, written and directed by Ranjit Shankar. This is a very simple film, and I quite enjoyed watching it, simply put. I don't have a lot to say about it, but just that it was a pleasant time. It's a very cute little romantic movie which documents nostalgia and documents sort of the end of a relationship. And it's a relationship that spanned for 4 years in a university. It's a classic movie. It's a feeling that most of us can relate to. And that's probably why I really enjoyed watching it. Fresh out of college and fresh out of a breakup, I really felt it, like it hit me in the heart, right? The thing that I really want to talk about in the movie is the music. The music is quite powerful in one sense because it takes you through multiple emotions throughout the film in terms of there's this longing, there is regret, there is kind of tension, and there's a song that makes you feel playful, and there's the songs kind of peg the film, from the beginning to the end. These songs kind of become the anchor points around which each section of the breakup is kind of shown to us. And in that sense also, I feel like this film functions as a little candy-sized it's a candy-sized method of going through what it feels like to be at the end of a relationship. And again, this end of a relationship is a classic one. Nothing's wrong with it, but everything's wrong with the relationship. There's a lot of love between the two characters, and there's a lot of longing and a lot of tension, but it's not a practical relationship. It was a college story. It had to end at some point. The two protagonists in the film are played by Priya P. Warrior and Sarjano Khalid, and they do a fairly good job. Mostly because they're not really acting. To me, it felt like they weren't really acting. They sort of embody these college students, and the rawness in their acting performances and the kind of awkwardness in it kind of adds to the film. You feel like you're just observing somebody go through something. It doesn't have any grandiosity to it, including, let's say, the anger or the love or the tension scenes. It is equally awkward. The dialogues are equally kind of misplaced, like how a real life conversation would be. There are certain nice tender moments between these people, but again, at no point does it feel like too good to be true type of a scenario. What I really enjoyed about the film, and the reason I want to talk about it, is because at a time where words like Kalippen and Kandari and Tep Chittapoi and all of these concepts exist in our current Malayali lingo, it's very nice to see a relationship that is being dealt with on equal terms, where you see the perspective of the woman where, she is a practical person. She has a lot of love for this man, but, she realizes it's not going to work out, and she's happy. She's content with ending this relationship the way it is. And then you see the man who's a little more desperate for, this relationship. He constantly says, I need you, neeolla denike help pannu, and all of these phrases. And they've tried. You see a relationship where both parties have really tried. It didn't work out, and so it's okay, we're ending it. At one point, the protagonist says, Priya P. Warrior's character, she says, it was good while it lasted, and now it's over. And so that's what this relationship is at the point that we're watching them. And they really explore that quite well. And the second half of the film especially is what I enjoyed, because you see closure played out on camera. We all wish that, we could have that one day of like a perfect day with your, ex or your ex-lovers or your partners after a breakup. You just want some peace, some clarity, some back and forth, some tenderness and closure. So the second half of the film really explores that quite nicely. It's a simple film. There's not a lot going on besides the fact that it is looking at these two characters from multiple angles. You do see why they are the way they are and why this relationship works and doesn't work on multiple levels. It ends on an open ending of this sense of that they're going to meet 5 years from now, which again, that moment, like many moments in the film, reminded me of multiple conversations that I have had in my relationships. So it's a very relatable film, for a young person who's in the dating world. It's nice to see these things kind of put out there with the kind of awkwardness that it has in real life. It really does capture the feeling of, being young and being in love and romanticizing everything, including the rain and sunset and college and canteens and, benches and the spot where you first talked to each other, the spot where you broke up, all of that. It's really beautiful in that sense. The camera work in the movie is done quite pleasantly. It doesn't do anything too complex or over the top, but it captures this college and their campus and, rooms and attics and cornered spaces really well. And within these like long, lush green landscapes, you see, Gayatri, the protagonist, and Vishal in their yellows and, blues. And these colors, they're nice. The color palette itself is very pleasing to watch. And the film itself was quite pleasing to watch. It did make me feel giddy at certain points. It made me blush at certain points. But I was also, like, at the end of it, I don't particularly feel, oh my God, I have watched something incredible. It's a simple movie. And it works. It works for what it is. It is a romantic movie about a young couple going through a breakup. And it works for that. The acting performances are to be spoken about because I've never seen Priya P. Warrior, in such form. Like, she really belongs in this movie. Like, she does the whole thing with such ease, and she cries with ease, and she delivers her dialogues with ease. So does her counterpart, the character played by Sarjana Khalid, and he also does a commendable job. And I think I have to keep on going back to the point that nothing in this movie feels put on or staged, and so their acting performances, the camera work, all of it kind of just feels normal as it is, as you would see, in real life. The music, again, is something to, kind of go back to, because maybe the music is the only part of the film that adds that layer of romanticization or dramaticness, and it does hold you. It does hold the viewer to kind of listen to what's going on screen. So, in conclusion, I was quite happy watching this film. I don't know how this film is going to leave an impact, or if it has any particular, consequences of existing in the industry. However, it was a simple film. It was a cute film, and I had a good time watching it. And I think you should too. It's in theaters starting today, and that's all. I hope we can keep this conversation going. I'll see you next week with another review. Thank you.